While you watch and enjoy this video, help us like this video by clicking on the like button, drop your comments, share this video so that it will reach out to many more people, and importantly, subscribe to this channel. That will help us to reach out to you every time we have more contents to bring to you. So please don't forget, like this video. The more you like it, the more YouTube help it to reach out to many more people, many more Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Like this video. Thank you. Share this video. Thank you. And subscribe to our channel as you drop your comment. We proceed. Hello and welcome to our today's program on Biafran Radical Freedom TV. Here with you is Akpan Asokwo. On our updates, scores have been left dead following an attack by a group of bandits in Abuja, the Nigerian Capital Territory. In this attack, countless people have been confirmed injured, while a lot of others scampered for their lives. In Lagos, a group of young men who are identified as Fulani of Chad have been apprehended during a military recruitment exercise. This group of men were caught with certificates of origin which states that they are indigenes of Lagos State, and currently they are still with the Lagos Authority. From Nigerian National Assembly, the Deputy Speaker, Nigerian House of Representatives, Right Honorable Okeze Benjamin Kalu, has given a ray of hope towards the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. According to him, efforts are ongoing towards the release of the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In his words, we are working on a round table. There is a detailed strategy. It is not by violence. From IPOB, the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, from the Office of the Head of Medical Research and Engineering, Professor Chioma Ukoma, the process of Biafra referendum database registration is ongoing. By this, Biafrans all over the world will be able to participate in making their decision as to whether to remain in Nigeria or go their separate way by forming their new state, the sovereign state of Biafra. According to the professor, the ministry is working seriously to ensure that there will be a very strong and large enough database system to enable the election or the voting process, where the Biafran people will make their choice by deciding whether they will remain in Nigeria or they will go their separate ways.
You must go to that database and register. If you don't, then you've lost. So we are doing our part. Your part would be to register, and we will be talking to you when it is time. We will walk you through.
To the IPOB news again. The Nigerian military have come out open to claim responsibility over the killings of Biafra youth that counts to 464 people. PM, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, responded, stating that the figure that the Nigerian army put forward, which is 464, is not the exact figure. The Biafran government today have come to stand and fight for vengeance. According to the Biafran Republic Government in Exile PM Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Biafran government today, 2nd January 2024, have ordered the Biafran Liberation Army to neutralize all strategic Nigerian terrorist defense headquarters. This order is with immediate effect. We call on all civilians to stay away from all military bases where these disappearances are being enforced. If you remove the 464 from the 20,000 people that disappeared, that means over 19,000 missing. Now from the north, Comrade Dan Muazu, a very celebrated figure from the northern extraction, said, and the Big Cocoa captured it, according to him, allow the Igbos to go. Allow the Igbos to have a country of their own. For me, I choose my people, Fulani, over Nigeria. We are more closer to our people in Chad, Niger, and Cameroon than the Igbos or the other tribes in Nigeria. Why not allow the Igbos to go? From the Nigerian military, we have arrested some suspects connected to the Plateau State massacre, and we are still hunting for the rest of them. The Kaduna State government have come to disclaim the conflicting figures, which brings the figure of the casualties, the victims of the actual dead persons, to less than 200. The government stated that it's over 425 persons, including children, that have been killed by the military supposed accidental bombardment. In Japan, plane carrying 379 passengers crash lands, bursts into flames, and the families are in grief. You see the videos, the pictures here. Please, while you watch and enjoy this video, help us like this video by clicking on the like button. Drop your comments, share this video so that it will reach out to many more people, and importantly, subscribe to this channel. That will help us to reach out to you every time we have more content to bring to you. So please don't forget, like this video. The more you like it, the more YouTube help it to reach out to many more people, many more Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Like this video. Thank you. Share this video. Thank you. And subscribe to our channel as you drop your comment. We proceed. Once again, you are welcome. Before we go to today's main discourse, which is the comparison between the reality of natural disaster and human-caused disaster relating with the Tennessee in USA and the hazard of destruction in Nigeria, in the northern Nigeria and all over Nigeria. Let's take it. This is the Tennessee disaster of December 9th, 2023. This is the extent of the hazard of the tornado. The tornado took just 6 lives and left tens injured. Very much properties were left in ruins. But importantly, it is worthy of note that the rescue team and the system in place which enables the rescue team to function effectively helped out. The database system was very great. The quick response by the team and the rescue mission, including the value for human life, played out. The standard of journalism and good reportage without bias and fear by journalists was something manifest here. Now, you can see the security system. The security system, which includes the environment itself, which was built to enable security.
What the fuck?
And this is totally opposite to what was prevalent in the human-created hazard and disaster that is witnessed all over Nigeria, just like the pre-Christmas
A series of
killings
tornadoes swept
in the
across Texas
Kaduna
on Saturday,
South,
killing at least 6 people, injuring dozens more, and leaving
and
tens of
the
thousands
Christmas
without
killing
electricity. The storms also caused
in
widespread
Plateau
damage to
State.
homes, businesses, and infrastructure.
the second coming
Counties.
of the killings in Plateau State, and its return by Nigerian military for a second killing after 30 minutes in Kaduna State. Now, a lot of things are to be brought to view here. We are battling with the ineptitude of Nigerian media and poor journalism. The act of circumventing situations because these journalists don't want to be victim of the despotic Nigerian government, which is always peevish and unthinking in their actions. The symposium of lies called press briefing and address by the Nigerian military, PRO, and the generals who came to say, yes, they accept, but it is a mistake. They accept it was from the Nigerian military, but it was a mistake. This kind of thing and many more are the things that should make every media house to join in the crusade of the dissolution of Nigeria, being that each time these things occur, they can only cry in the media, apportion blames, and you still see these things repeating. So, being that you, the media, the journalists, understand that there is no remedy to a situation like this, and also given that it is impossible to have a government that will be duly elected by the Nigerian people themselves, other than a government that has a foreign influence of those foreign states who benefit from the bad order and the state of disarray of Nigerian state. Why the journalist or the journalism should be geared towards the consciousness of saving the Nigerian masses, the Nigerian people, upon whom the government or the state should be built on, or whom the government, every government, supposing every elected government should owe their service. We are talking about the ineptitude of the media, not because we don't know that this ineptitude is because in most cases or most times the media want to circumvent the punishment or the clamping down of the state. But why will the media now, the presenters, especially those of them whom we celebrate as the mega media men, the faces of Nigerian media, those whom the people rely on for their analysis and presentation of development. Now, you follow what happened. We will dissect these issues. First of all, there were questions that the media were supposed to be asking. They never asked this. The reports that all the news outlets were giving, they contradict all the different news outlets. The reason is because the media, a lot of them reporting, don't even go to the scene, the arena of incident. They don't go even after the incident took place. There is no investigation. The ethics of investigation in reporting developments or news is not there. A lot of them, if you follow the figures that were given, they say even a particular news media, I think the Daily Post, said it was 65 people. It was so laughable. It was just like the Daily Times that said it was above 200 victims that were dead. Confirmed dead was about over 200. Now, the questions that should be coming, one is, where exactly did the Kaduna incident took place? Where did it take place? Where exactly did it take place? A lot of the media outlets reported that it was Kaduna. In fact, all of them said it was a village near Kaduna North. Was it really a village near Kaduna North? Or was it an incident that took place in Kaduna South? What was why did the casualty, why was the casualty up to that number? These questions should be asked. Okay, they said the village name is Tudumbiri in Kaduna North, in village near Kaduna North. Was that not a Kaduna South village predominated by the Christians? Now, why the Kaduna North? Why the Kaduna North? Now, the media said it was the casualty came because there was a festive. There was a festive that was going on. Festive that is celebrated by the Islam, the Muslim people, the Muslim community. Now, was it really a festive? Then, Maulud Islamic festive, El Maulud, which is supposed to be the celebration of the birth of Prophet Muhammad. Is it a nocturnal festival? Is it celebrated normally? Is it a celebration that takes place at night? From the media reportage, this event, this incident took place around 10 p.m. 10 p.m. of that fateful day. It took place 10 p.m. Now, after that it took place, this is, I think it's a third or fourth point now that the journalists should have investigated. This took place on 10th December, 10 p.m. Then, the next question should be, why did the military, who said that this happened as a mistake? Look at what the military said here. It was a mistake. Now, why did it take place? Why did the military return for a second time? Now, the next question, which I think I asked somehow, that why was the casualty up to over 200 people? And again, why is the media being too economical with reporting the truth? This incident took over 600 lives and left over 1,000 casualties. Now, if this was not a deliberate bombardment, we need to ask more questions. What kind of bomb was detonated? Was it not grenade? Was it a general bombardment? Was it a general bombing? If it was not a general jet bomber, that means it is grenade. Then what capacity of grenade was it that was detonated? How many casualties can each of such grenade cause? Or if it was a jet bomber, what measure of jet bombardment, what volume of, is it 500 grams? Is it 1000? Is it 2000 grams? Then if it is 2000, that because 2000 should be able to cause a seeming kind of terror if it detonated, if it bombarded maybe in 20s or in tens in a particular setting. That's why I brought this tornado and you see this, the landmark, the area, the size of the environment where the tornado took place, and you see what is the casualty. Just 6 people died. 6 people died. And you should also know that in the north, in Kaduna, people are not so jam-packed in their setting, in their settlement, where people settle. There is no this kind of jam-packment arrangement like we have in southern Nigeria. Like in Lagos, maybe within a 300 meters environment, you can have up to maybe 300 or 400 people there. It's possible. Okay, now, what quality of grenade was it? Because we know the extent of harm that each grenade detonated can cause. Because if it is bombardment, you can see in Russia what this is the most recent bombardment in Russia by Russia in the city in Ukraine. Now we are talking about if this is grenade, because we are not in war. This measure of, see the kind of hazard it caused for each of these bomb can cause. Now, if it is this measure of bomb, are we in war? Do you fight terrorists? If they now claim that they thought it was terrorists, they thought military that act on assumption. That is but for we know that it's a deliberate bombardment. We know. If they say it was, and this is not the first time it happened. This is not the first time, because since 2017 we have been recording this. Since 2017, go and check, because we have something like this in 2017, and since 2017 it has been happening. Where the military will go to a place and after they will say it was a mistake. So you know, because we know what is happening. This community refuse. This community. They reject this trajectory, this Islamic, this jihadist trajectory, because they have been on this expedition. If this is not an expedition, an organized military expedition, why was this measure of harm? The magnitude of the harm can only be found where there is in a state of war, and it is a war military gadget that can cause this measure of if it's not a deliberate act. Then are we in a state of war in Kaduna South? This is the question. This is a jihadist movement that is backed by the government of the day. Nothing that. What is the ensuing interest? What is the ensuing interest? What is the ensuing interest? Is that what military intelligence was gathered to cause this kind of terror? What kind of military is this? Because the people, the inhabitants of this area repudiated all the attempt to coerce them into Islamism. That is why you are seeing all this. They repudiated. They don't want to succumb to this. And you remember, since the Buhari government, inception of Buhari government, if you follow, there was go and check here a video I just posted yesterday. You will hear where Kashim Shettima, the current vice president, threatened the fire and brimstone. He was referring it to Igbo people, but it wasn't just Igbo people. When you hear him say Igbo people, then he means all Christian communities. Their hatred, the hatred they talk about Igbo people and how they will push the Igbos to ocean and deal with the Igbos, that in 4 years that the Igbo people will be finished. He didn't mean only that. You remember he made this video when Buhari entered office. So since that time, from that time to today, you can record the kind of atrocious attempts to annihilate Christians wherever Christian communities is identified, both in the north and in the south. Effort, you can see that it has happened to Edo, it has happened to Bayelsa, to Delta, it has happened to River State, it has happened to Abia, and all those ones, the southeast have been their main domain. If not for the resistance by the ESN, set up by our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and now currently the fire is sustained by Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, Biafra Republic government in Nigeria. That's why we are saying everyone who say he is an Igbo man that attacks him, he is like Onya Burono. Because I don't see you don't have, nobody have any moral ground whatsoever. There is no argument you will present whatsoever. Let me not distract ourselves to discredit the Mazi Simon Ekpa and his team. There is no argument whatsoever. You can't present anything. Now I want to ask, because I was about going, when we have much thing to say, I was about going to what these communities take from Amnesty International, because this Amnesty, you can see that they are very, they know what they are doing. The Amnesty International, they don't ever want to talk anything about Biafra. They don't want to talk anything about the killings of the Igbos. They don't want to talk anything about the humiliations, the carnage that the military bring in the guise of Fulani herders. Because when you see, anywhere you see this terror activity of the jihadists in Southeast, you see there's a military checkpoint. So there is no argument whatsoever anybody can present to exonerate the military of complicity. I want to refer to a particular Eid celebration of the past. Now I want to read what happened there. They said the Eid celebration was a colorful one in the northern Nigeria. They comprised of sing, drumming, dancing, horse riding, and a historical artifact. That was on 12th day of the Islamic month, Rabbi Alawal, to celebrate the birth of Prophet Muhammad Salah al-Wasalam, SAW, capital in bracket. Now, I said, however, no standard cut and dry rules on how the day should be celebrated. How the day, not the night. Now, observing Eid Maulud in Daura, Katsina State, used to be the combination of Gani annual cultural festival. With the introduction of Islam Gani, a Hausa word meaning meeting festival took a new form of an Islamic festival. Now, what I am trying to point out here is that in this festival, there is horse riding, singing, drumming, dancing, activities, social activities that takes place only in the daytime. Because it is in a native environment. It's in a native environment. So there is this no city electrification like lightning system. Like you said, the area, the environment was well powered. There was now if you even see the gathering, when people gathered, you saw it was a daylight activity. So why did they now say that they were able to get that number of casualty? Because there was a party in that environment. Then, now, if it was because of there was a party, again, on another question, why did the military, was the pilot so blind, the captain, the person piloting the jet, were the crew so blind, was the military squad so blind that none of them saw there was a celebration going there? If they were not hearing the drumming, did they not see activities that looks like celebration? Many questions to ask that your journalists are not asking. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu said that the journalism in Nigeria is a pocket journalism. You can only see Dr. Ruben Abati and all of them. This is very limited, but your knowledge that helps to impoverish or keep a people in darkness, of what use is it? Of what use it is it? Because each time any topic like dividing Nigeria is raised, each time anything like secession is raised, the way people like Dr. Hussein, Dr. Ruben Abati and his colleagues, yes, they seem to be the best in media in Nigeria. Yet, these best are contributing to the hazard in Nigeria. A lot of people clap for them because of their exposure, intellectual exposure. But at the end of the day, including the other guy at Channel Seun. Shehu even look too compromised, so he's kind of media looks too compromised. It's something like someone like this the younger guy, Rufai. Yes, Rufai. Obviously, everybody know he stands more for the people. But whenever it comes to this discussion of dividing Nigeria, he don't want to hear that. I don't know what the problem is. When he knows that these things keep happening. Okay, when this thing happened in 2022, it happened in 2022, 18th December. Well, they will come and after they analyze and all of that, they say tomorrow will be better. These things keep happening. And not as if they don't know about the Western influence, they don't know about the kind of jagabanism in the internal politics, the external influence adding up. They know that Nigeria, Peter Obi, who just did a video new to show that the Western influence was responsible for him not winning and will always influence Nigerian election. Him, even Peter Obi, is still not yet convinced that we should divide Nigeria, so that each region, each of the new states can begin to develop themselves without external interference. Because if the people agree within themselves to divide the country, maybe into 6 different countries or into 3 different whatever number of different countries that will emerge, but he will never go for that, because even him has a lot to benefit. All these people who are defending this, there is one way or the other they benefited in the past, are benefiting or are targeting to benefit in the future time. That is why you will see them always want to oppose. After all, Dr. Abati was in Jonathan's government, was he not? If not, why after all the grammar you speak, but you are too afraid of hearing that word, let's divide the country, so that people will take responsibility for how their country is run? And not where someone will be all powerful when you talk about let's restructure it, so that this overpower of this same one person and the people that sponsor him will not override the rest of the populace, the will of the populace. Because you know that there is nothing you can do, if in as much as you are still a united country, there's nothing you can do to stop the evil ongoing. There's nothing you can do to help the poor masses. There's nothing you can do to stop the further impoverishment of the poor masses. There's nothing you can do to stop any president coming tomorrow to take 5,000 people to trip to Dubai, or to take 100,000 people to. There is nothing you can do. You only go to the media and speak grammar, and that ends it. There's nothing you can do to stop the careless killing of innocent citizens, and after you come here to talk now,
we're essentially
listen to me. I will continue.
Careful not to say a failed state.
This is in
we're essentially a failing state. If you look at what the law says, we begin with section 33 of the Constitution, and that is under chapter 4, which contains the fundamental rights of Nigerians. The first right provided and guaranteed under the Constitution is the right to life, under section 33. Now, when people are slaughtered, when people are killed in the manner that we have witnessed in Taraba, in Plateau, and several other, many other parts of the country, it is an indication that the right to life of Nigerians have been violated, and that the government is incapable of guaranteeing that right. And that today, President Tinubu has, to that extent, abdicated his responsibility to protect Nigeria. Because what does it mean to say that the president has given a presidential directive, a presidential instruction? The IG has given directive. I was just reading the news while coming here, that the IG has gone to Plateau State, and he says he's, deploying tactical teams, intelligence team, whatever, to Plateau. What does that mean? We are now living in a country, and quite tragically, where the words of the president, the statements of the president and commander-in-chief are clearly and undoubtedly meaningless to Nigerians. Because if the president of a country is saying that this has to stop, and barely hours after he has said that, we see another attack. What the attackers are saying is that in their mind, in their state of mind, they do not recognize the authority of the president. So we have to stop excusing this. Can anybody tell us today that the entire architecture the entire military infrastructure, the entire state security service headed by Bichi, the entire Nigeria police force headed by IGP Ebechukwu is incapable of detecting these attacks, is incapable of responding expeditiously, that the military has no aircraft, the police has no helicopters, they could not have responded within minutes of the attack, when the military has confirmed that they received over 30 distress calls. So there is simply no excuse for what has happened. It is either the government is complicit in these killings, or the government is clearly incompetent. But whichever it is, if it is a case of incompetence, how come that nobody has been held accountable? How come that the IGP is still in office? How come that BT, the SSS Director General, is still in office? How come that the Chief of Army Staff is still in office? This is the tragedy of the Buhari years. That in 8 years, we saw a president that people were killed, no accountability, no punishment. Is Tinubu now throwing that same pattern? Because if these attacks take place, over almost 200 Nigerians killed, almost 200, and you do not sack the IG, you do not relieve the service chiefs of their responsibility, you are simply saying you do not care, and the attacks will be repeated. So there has to be some form of accountability. People has to be penalized. And I don't understand what the killing is about.
This is enough now. Let's proceed. The bomb they used, because these questions we must ask. Now, if we are going by description of the bomb and what kind of or magnitude of harm or damage either of them can cause, if it is general purpose, if it is a grenade bombs dropped. Now, if it is grenade, did they drop a whole bucket of jet-loaded grenade? Why would it cause such measure of casualty? Now, if you go by grenade number 74, which is always L9.5 inch by 4.5 inch diameter, it consists of a spherical glass flash containing a filling of 560 grams of Nobel 823. That is nitrogen glycerin, covered with a stocking type of material impregnated with a strong adhesive derived from bedlin, and it is not supposed to. One of such grenade is not supposed to cause very colossal damage. Maybe just a number of 3-4 persons who stay closer within maybe 5 meters can go for it. Now, if it is not this, that means they use a general purpose bomb. If they use a general purpose bomb, now what magnitude, what measure of bomb did they use there? Is it blue 101? Is it blue 111? Is it a more dangerous one? Because if you go by the weight, the measure, or the quality of the bomb, this blue 100, these ones can be used only in war. If you remember, during the we call MK81, MK82, MK81 doesn't have up to one. It has maybe the content should be less than 87.85 kg. Yes, so it is MK82 that has up to 87 to 89 kg. Because MK81 bomb, which is of the general purpose class, it weighs 227 grams. So it's not far away from a grenade. The harm, now the number of the fly. Are there also, we can also ask, did they use guided precision guided missile, like the Israel is using against Hamas? Because these things can be used in a state of war. Now, do you use precision guided missile in a civil to arrest a civil unrest by bandits, or Or do you use it in where people, in human settlement? Is it used to combat a nuisance from a civilian nuisance? These killings must be verified. It must be thoroughly investigated. Look at these things I'm trying to say here. See them here. We will flip them fast. This one, this is a MK. This is a MK 82, 81. This is MK 82. Now this here we have general peoples of 1,500, 1,500, 2,000. Now this one's, and see here, this is the one that Russia just used now. Russia is using as of this January. So okay, late December, 29th December to this January. This is the one Russia is using now. Now, are you fighting war where people in a residential area, and you said it's a mistake, and after 30 minutes you still came back and still used this again? Abba. Who are they telling? Did they tell monkey? Now who did they tell? Did they talk to a 1 day old baby? Abba. They came for second time after 30 minutes. Okay, now we go to and it must also be on record though that the January of this 2023 that the year was ended with this same terror. The January 24th in Zamfara, this same military mistake took lives of civilians. Now on the 2022, the December of the 2022 was also ended with this terror by the same military. On 24th, 18th December 2022 was ended by this same terror by military that took, the media reported it took 64 lives, but it took 189 lives, but the military reported it took 64 lives. This is the pattern. This is the same thing that keep happening. That's why Isa Sanusi said that the result is that the military is routinely carrying out airstrikes that end up the lives of Nigerian citizens in hundreds. Routinely. You get it? That the military is routinely doing this. Now, after this, for you to see the kind of country you are in, after this, another community in the same north, a Christmas package was served the people of Plateau State. Now the media was also reporting, whoa, it was 100 people. It was this. Now even this one we are talking about, this Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, they are calling Northern Kaduna. This, remember, they are claiming all these figures, this contradiction of figure. You remember that the Amnesty International reported that in a particular mass grave, 77 people were buried in a particular grave. Each one grave, 77 people. So now, how many mass graves was there? Each one, 77 people. Now you can see the kind of country you want us to. What are you protecting? The one that gets me mad is when the oppressed citizens are also giving a body language that implies they don't want to leave. They want to remain. We have very competent people from each tribe in Nigeria. And we have very, very competent, very capable. We are so rich with every mineral resources. Everything that the West, the Americans are producing today, they get the material from our soil. Every damn thing they are producing, they get material from our soil. Now, for you to now buy ordinary peace tool, you go there to buy when you have the resources for producing this peace tool. The explosive, even this bomb I'm talking about here, go and check the materials that the explosives. These are things we produce here. These are things we produce here. In Niger here, we have a lot of it. Niger has a very large deposit of this. Now, when we are talking about this, it looks like a selfish quest by Igbo people. This whole thing is gradually gravitating towards anarchy. I brought this tornado here. If you now see, there is no way you can pardon, there's no way you can condone or manage this kind of unity. There is no way. When there is an inferno or fire outbreak, you see the kind of hazard it causes. Look at these are the kind of hazard ordinary fire outbreak causes in Nigeria. Look at this market. See fire outbreak. Once a little mistake occurs, the fire outbreak cannot be controlled, cannot be quenched. Look at the kind of hazard, the destruction. Now, can you compare this to this whirling tornado? If this kind of tornado now that is witnessed in Tennessee in USA, now this tornado I'm showing you here now, you can see that you will find out that that state, almost, in fact, that particular local government will be wiped out. Nothing will come out of it. Now see how human environment is organized. That yes, over 10,000 was affected by reason of their kind of, see the way they magnify it. Go and check there in the news in Tennessee. You see that the problem of the people is that they didn't have light. The power system was seriously interrupted because the tornado was a whirling. It was a very serious tornado. So it ended up affecting due to it tossed around different materials. Very heavy materials was tossed, due to how whirling. That when you see nature acting, when you see nature in action. And of course, these are the things we see and organize our state. Because when you encroach into natural habitat, when you encroach into natural environment like this, some natural environment like water, when you build in water, you remember from the creation of man, creation of this world, the Bible said that the Spirit of the Lord was upon the water. So the water has so much very peaceful and aggressive spirit. Now this is what comes to manifest. Now when you go to build in the water to interfere with the water environment, of course it will keep on bringing natural disaster from time to time. Now these are the kind of things that we must check when we are building our own state. So we are saying in a nutshell that what you see there in the media, it is nothing. That thing you see as a press briefing is nothing than a symposium, an organized symposium of fact lies, and the kind of presentation and clashes of data from the media that makes them totally incompetent. The ineptitude of the media is disgusting, very disgusting. Now, therefore, I call on you all, the Nigerian people, to understand that our fight to secede from Nigeria should be a cause by you, from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west. We all should be calling for this in our own collective interest, because it is our collective interest. When you as a Arewa Republic, as a Dudua Republic, as Biafra Republic, and whatever republic that wants to, we will exist together as neighbor, as very good neighbor. That is why this man, when he said that Nigeria should break, that the Igbos should be allowed to go, he saw the kind of killings here and there. He wept when he saw the carnage that took place in Jos, in Plateau State, he saw the kind of joke of data conflict, the figures. This one say is 190, this one say is 150, this one say is 160 people. But in reality, the victims, the people that actually died, were over 670 people. Because of they don't want to be victims of intimidation of the government, who don't want the truth to be announced to the world, or to be revealed to the world, to be published to the world, to see the incapacitation of every government that comes up in Nigeria, to see the how vulnerable the Nigerian populace are, to see how unworkable and failed the state of Nigeria is. Just like Inedet rightly said, the Nigerian state don't want the world to know that no matter who becomes the president in Nigeria, he will be incapable of directing the security to protect and guide the lives of the citizens. They don't want to see that the country they are forcing to pamper, to hold together, they are forcing to keep going, they are fighting so hard even when the country doesn't want to be. They don't want the world to know how laughable their intellectuals are in their claims of intellectualism, when they know that truly Nigeria was not meant to be a country. Nigeria was just an enterprise, a business establishment that produces milk and honey for the West, for France, for America, for Britain, for Poland, for all of them. They don't want the world to know. They don't want even the Arab world to know that after all they are bowing. They are bowing to their antics of conquest. They want to hide these things from the world. That was why Comrade Tuko Damwazu, according to Big Coco, 6:49 a.m. days back, he said, allow the Igbos have their country, Biafra. Allow the Igbos have a country of their own. I choose my people, Fulani, over Nigeria. We are closer to our people. We are closer to our people in Clan. We are closer to our people in Chad, Niger, Cameroon than Igbos or others in Nigeria. This is the word of Comrade Tuku Damwazu. Why are you, who is in southern Nigeria, why are you, who is of southern Nigeria, opposing this our secessionist movement? Allow the Igbos and their brothers to go. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please, clicking on the like button, like this video. It will help us to reach out to many more people. Click on the like button. Share it, please. Share this video, please. Drop your comments, and that will do us a lot of good. Remain blessed. Akpan Asokwo. We will be right back. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Great Biafrans.
The silver jacket with Biafra come. Umokoko. Mad people everywhere. Dara. What you don't know is bigger than you.